we decided to renovate our Michigan house while we were building one in Florida. So might as well just do it all at once, you know. So if
Why not?
In the background, I apologize. So let's get into it. So you started that, you got a mentor. Didn't really
I got a mentor.
I did go from that to broker owner.
Well, I felt at one point at my family brokerage, I had hit the ceiling, and I wanted to grow, and I didn't feel like, unfortunately, my family business was able to help me grow. So I left the family business, which was extremely difficult, emotionally difficult. And at the time I had my reasons. So I went to another brokerage, and because I thought they're going to help me grow, and they did help me learn some things. What I didn't know was that right before I jumped over, after I jumped over to the other company, I found out I was pregnant with twins, and then that made my why like, oh, I get it now. So I really need to learn how to grow my business now, and I need to delegate, which was one of my biggest problems, delegating, still a problem. But while I was at that other company, I learned what I needed to do, and I learned what not to do. And it helped me transfer back over to the family business when the family was ready to retire. I didn't want to take over the business. I just wanted to come back and help them with all of the things that I had learned how to do. And of course, my obligation was to my family. They needed help. But that's how I kind of accidentally became a broker. And they're like, listen, we don't want to move forward with you. Like, peace out. We're leaving. Buy us out, or we'll sell to somebody else.
What year was this?
2018.
Okay, so from 2018, fast forward 2021, when you and me started talking, what even made you start thinking about the idea of EXP?
Well, I think one of the reasons why I was a good broker for the time that I held the crown of broker was I never forgot what it was like to be an agent. And I was a competing broker. So I feel like being boots on the ground, like I'm in the trenches with my agents every single day. And I know what they're experiencing. And so I know how to help them. I felt like it was one of the best ways for me to be able to be relevant. But at the same time too, as a broker, you now have to not only worry about your own business, you have to worry about your agents that you're working with you, their business, and how to help them grow and do more. And so I really enjoyed teaching them. That was an aspect of my business that I didn't even know I would like, or there was an option for me to help coach and mentor other agents. So that was a win. But to stay relevant and to stay, with the best technology and the best systems and the best tools, it costs a lot of money to have those things as a boutique brokerage, and then not compromise. That was my biggest thing. I didn't want to be obligated to a title company, a lender, or an inspection company, insurance company, like to help me pay the bills. I wanted to work with people that I wanted to work with because they owed me 5-star service every single day, not because that's how I was getting my paycheck. That sort of thing. So it was up to me to pay for systems and tools and things like that to keep my agents at the top of their game. And that costs a lot of money. So that was one of the things. It's like, and I don't want to be, this is going to sound weird, and I don't mean it in this way, but I think the best way to say it is, I want to be in a room with people who know a lot more than me. I want to be in a room with people that I like to learn from people's bad experiences. I don't want to have my own bad experiences. So I like to learn. And I think that, like I said before,
I outgrown my old brokerage, and I looked at this opportunity here, then I was Nemo with a room full of sharks. And I love that, because the potential to grow is so much better when you are, when you're surrounded with the best locally. Those are the best locally, but imagine the best nationally and the best internationally. That's a whole different ballgame. So if you're already hanging out with the best locally, then what?
Right. And that's nothing. That's like, it's a little pond, you know what I mean? And I want to have resources. I want to know people and have resources for not just myself, but the agents that I'm helping. So that's a big draw, and so seeing all of the tools and systems and things that come along with this brokerage, but then to have the extra earning opportunities and to own a piece of the business. I mean, I owned the whole business 100%, but at the same time, again, knowing what it's like to be an agent and never forgetting that, I can't offer that to my agents. It's, you know, and to be, I want to be relevant. I want to be competitive. What I want for them.
Yeah, when I was actually going to for my broker's license when I was presented with the idea of EXP, and I was still going back and forth because I'm like, I just want to have my cute little brand. Like, I just want to have my cute little Gogo's Real Estate, and you know, how awesome would it be? And then I realized, I don't remember who asked me this question, but someone asked me the question, how are you going to compete?
That's it.
I was like, oh.
And
that's give them retirement plans and passive income through revenue. How am I going to give her cap back? Really? I'm going to give you cap. How am I going to? You can't sustain the business. It's not sustainable. And then, you know, I think Ford says is then I'd rather have 100 people's effort than 100% of mine. 1% of 100 people than 100% of mine. And the same thing, it's like I can still do everything that I wanted to do here, but now I get to grow nationally and internationally, hundreds and thousands of agents that I rather have a cute little percentage of everybody's effort than have 100% of mine. And being tied to location, that's the other thing that it removes from your plate and mine. You're not tied to location.
Exactly. That was also attractive to me. I'm not exactly looking to go and do real estate in another state, but I do vacation in a couple of states pretty regularly. And I have family there with real estate, and I would love to get involved and not have to switch brokerages to do business. It just complicates things, and it just simplifies the opportunity if I choose to use it. I love opportunities. There's tons of them here.
Yeah, so at EXP, if anyone who's watching this doesn't know this, at EXP, you can have multiple state licenses and only one cap and one cut. So you could have a license in Florida and one in Michigan, and you only have 116,000 cap. So both of the transactions in either state, you do the transactions and go towards that one cap. And also if you're a husband and wife team, you're considered as one person. So that's huge for agents that are both licensed to come over to EXP. Now both of their transactions go towards one, which takes me to the next thing that allows them to icon faster. And you told me just before this presentation, so iconing was a big reason for you to want to come over. So can you tell us what that is and why?
Yeah, well, even at our brokerage, you know, it was one of the stereotypical older models. You know, I can't offer anybody's money back ever. Like it's not even an option, right? And so again, that was something that I would, if I were an agent working for another broker, that's definitely something that I would be interested in. So iconing is like I actually have like a goal now. Like my goals have been for other people. And so now I have my own goal and I'm super excited about that. And yes, I'd love to icon. I'd love to do all, you know, the business that I normally generate and be able to get my cap back in stock. That's amazing. It's in my mind, I see that as like, so take your 100% brokerage and whatever. I can make more than 100%. Give me a company.
Plus.
Absolutely. Like it's a no-brainer for me, you know? And they may not resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah, all of your agents that you were taking away from in the past, if you look at it that way, you had to sustain a company. Now they have the opportunity to earn a cap. Now you can give their cap back, which you've never been able to offer. So it's better for them. It's better for you. It's a better decision overall. It's not an easy decision though. So coming over from your privately owned brokerage, what kind of hurdles did you have to go through that you necessarily didn't think of it? I know to mention one, your license reduction.
Oh my gosh. I will tell you that was unexpectedly a little mini nightmare. It was.
Same here. That was a lesson learned for both of us. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I had known it was going to be that long and that painful, I think I would have done things a little bit differently.
Yeah. Let's explain to everybody who's watching here what that even meant and why you had to do that.
Well, when you own a brokerage, you have to have somebody, while you're still working with agents, they're closing out files, and basically those people can't get paid unless they close, and the brokerage can't be open and people can't get paid without an active broker. So what we decided to do, we were in a situation with our agents where we couldn't just shut down. So what we decided to do was to take another broker and push them up to qualifying broker, and then downgrade my license to broker associate so that I could laterally switch over to EXP. So that was a process. You know, the paperwork with the state was a little bit more than we expected. There was, you know, they didn't keep up with it. They couldn't remember what they had or they didn't have because we kept going back and forth. But, you know, so that part of it was painful. It shouldn't have been, but we thought we had done the right thing because you can't just leave a brokerage without a broker, you know. So
agents have to close out their transaction. They slowly transitioning.
Right.
So in this case, watching this, Amy signed what's called an LOI, a letter of intent. So she showed her interest in the company, but she couldn't leave because if she leaves right away, then all her agents are without a broker. So it's a kind of a transition where she gets her position in the company, and then agents individual, as they're closing out their transactions, coming over. And when the last agent comes over, then Amy can join. Well, we had a second option where if Amy was to reduce her broker license and replace her position with somebody else, then she could come over in the meantime, not have to wait for everybody to close out their transaction. So we opted in for option number 2, which ended up taking us just in a roundabout way.
Well, one of my qualities, I guess you could say my best and worst quality is honesty, and I don't like to keep secrets. So once I had, in my mind, I had made that decision and it felt good, I couldn't keep it a secret anymore. So I had to tell my agents. And when I did, you know, instead of there being a nice slow transition, they were all like, I'm in, and they jumped over, like they jumped overboard. And I was like, wait a minute. You know, we weren't really expecting that. So, you know, that was good, but at the same time, it kind of, you know.
Yeah, that's what Dwayne tells me sometimes, like, how do you even have friends? He's like, I don't understand. How do you have friends? Because I'm so honest, like it comes right out. And I'm like, sorry, I probably should have not said that. Well, if you don't want to know the truth, how those jeans look on your behind, then don't ask me. I'm not gonna, like, what am I supposed to do? Lie to my friend's face? Like, that's better than saying the truth? No, I'm gonna tell the truth. Yeah. I'm as honest as it comes. So you found your match. So I'm so excited, and I'm very honored to call you my business partner. I got the opportunity to come down there and see your office and see your people. You have created an amazing community for yourself. So now I'm excited even furthermore because you get to keep that community on a different level. So how many of your agents all came over?
I think we're looking at 17 that have come over so far. We have a couple that are lingering, but they're working on some things, trying to jump over. And then I have 7 currently on my own personal team. So some of the agents that jumped over, actually a lot of them jumped over as solo agents. So I'm kind of secretly hoping that they icon this year, or not icon, but at least cap. You know, some of them, you know, last year was kind of rough for some of them. So we're hoping that this year is better.
So we are doing an icon program in Team Gogo every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So now we have 7 or 8 icons in Team Gogo, and they are going to take rotation. And every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, we are going to have an icon program training. So any of the agents that want to, like, that's their main focus is production and how to icon. Tell your agents better be there every Tuesday at 1 starting on the 18th. So from the 18th on, every Tuesday 1 o'clock, it's icon training. So anything they possibly need to know directly from the icons of how they got there to where they at, it's going to be an awesome series. So I'm very excited.